The impact of pandemic on energy sector in Indonesia. So, as we all know, the energy sources are divided into two, which renewable sources and non-renewable sources. Renewable sources include the sun, wind, wave, and water. Non-renewable sources such as oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear. Energy is very much needed in carrying out Indonesian economic activities, both of production activities and consumption needs of the various sector energy. Energy use in the transportation sector is the large in Indonesia. So, in Indonesia, those who use the benefit renewable energy are still too little and rare. Many people still use non-renewable energy as one energy they depend on. In fact, renewable energy had climbed down at least 19% cheaper than non-renewable energy. It's unlike coal that it will not likely to lower its price since it has certain technology in the first place. Renewable energy in Indonesia. Indonesia actually has plenty of opportunity potential in renewable energy. In fact, Indonesia has 417.8 gigawatt of the following renewable energy, but only 10.4 gigawatt or 2.5% energy that has been used. That consists of ocean, geothermal, bioenergy, wind power, hydro, and solar. So, the global trends are revolutionizing the energy sector. In most major markets, energy demand has been dropping as efficiency improvement are implemented. The example like the adoption of electric vehicles is one factor in this trend. Sales of electric vehicles reached more than 2 million a year in 2018. Renewable energy is also becoming a major source of electricity from 2015 to 2017. More than half of the world's new generation capacity relied on the wind and solar power. Next, I will explain the example of the application of renewable energy in PT PLN Indonesia. So, to support the development of bioenergy power plant, the government of Indonesia has made several strategic efforts such as market creation by requiring PT PLN to purchase electricity from bioenergy power plants and concern the simplification of producer and permits to regulate the renewable energy price by increasing the utilization of the oil palm for electricity, and also collaborate with related stakeholders to develop dedicated energy forests for ensure sustainability feedstock supply. PT PLN itself target new and renewable energy plants with the total capacity of 648 megawatts to be operational in 2022. Impact of COVID-19 on energy demand. As we know, Indonesia confirmed the first case of COVID-19 in March 2020. By mid-October, the number of cases has grown more than 350,000, which is the highest in Southeast Asia, and more than 12,000 Indonesians has died of the disease. In response, the government implemented travel restriction and wide range of other mitigation policies. Both the pandemic and mitigation measures have had a direct impact on the energy sectors. As you can see, guys, this is the chart of proposition of final energy consumption by sector 2019 to 2000 or 2020. So, according to the report from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, energy consumption in the transportation sector was 364.44 million barrels oil equivalent or BOA in 2020. The proposition reached 43.11% of the total final energy consumption. In Indonesia, which was 845.15 BOA, the proportion of energy consumption in transportation sector in 2020 decreased compared to the previous year, which was 43.18%. So, The decline occurred due to travel extinction and reduced road transportation in Indonesia during the pandemic, which led to a cut in the consumption of gasoline and diesel fuel. Next, in transportation sector, the proportion of the energy consumption in the industrial sector was recorded at 34.7% in 2020. Energy use in the industrial sector also decreased compared to 2019, which was 36.50%. In, in other sectors also fell from 1.24% to 1.22%. Next, the energy consumption in commercial and household sector recorded an increase in 2020. As you can see, energy consumption in the commercial sector increased from 4.68% in 2019 to 4.79% in 2020. Next, energy use in household sector increased from 30.76% in 2019 then to 16.18% last year. So the increasing of the proportion of energy composition in the household sector is in line with the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused more people stay at home, because this is the way to avoid the spread of the coronavirus and causing energy consumption, such as household electricity used to increase. Next is the pandemic has also affected corporate profit in the energy sector, depending on enthusiasts in reducing available resources for immediate new investment. Total reported a collective 20% year-over-year drop in net profit for the first half of 2020, with profit margins falling to distressing minus 14%. Next is the example of COVID impact in energy company in Indonesia, or in the example is in PT Pertamina. So PT Pertamina is the state-owned enterprise in charge managing oil and gas mining in Indonesia. And Pertamina was ranked 122 in 2013 Fortune Global. As you can see in this chart, in 2020, PT Pertamina recorded a net loss in 767.9 million rand, or around 11.3 trillion rupiah. So there are two factors causing the decline. First, the decline in revenue and sales were due to a 20.9% decline in domestic sales of the crude oil, natural gas, geothermal energy, and oil products to 16 billion. The second, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the reduction in activities outside home that occur in almost all countries result in decrease in demand of the fuel. At the time, there was a abundant supply of both fuel and crude oil, so that the price of the crude oil was at lowest level. Next is the 5 idea of turning Indonesia energy sector and delivering great value to country economic growth and development. The first is reform energy subsidies to strengthen benefit. Fuel subsidies in Indonesia drain the public treasury and divert funds from the potential project that could deliver long-term economic impact. Before 2014, fuel subsidies in Indonesia total 20 billion a year or more, but following the drop in global oil prices, annual fuel subsidies fell to an average above about 7 billion a year from 2015 to 2019. So, the global oil prices have reduced the pressure to offer the subsidies and move towards market prices rather than regulated prices, and shift some of the burden and potential benefit of pricing decision. Pertamina is the state-owned enterprise in charge of managing oil and gas mining in Indonesia to resume global oil prices. However, it would make the current system unsustainable, while at the same time making reform more difficult politically. The second is revitalize investment in exploration and development. Indonesia has once a net exporter of oil and member OPEC, but indicate investment, especially exploration and low global prices, have weakened the country oil industry. In 2018, Indonesia was net importer of more 515,000 barrels of crude oil and product per day, equivalent to 20 billion a year, and within the next 5 years, Indonesia could become a net importer of natural gas as well. Oil imports currently cover about 15% of the country use. Beyond the impacts of COVID-19, global trends have kept oil and natural gas prices low. This may continue with several recent large discoveries and massive development projects for Indonesia, but also intensify competition for a more economically attractive investment. Next is capture value through digitization. Globally, the energy sector has been slower than others to draw value from modern technologies such as advantage analytics, the Internet of Things, automation, and mobile apps. The pandemic has accelerated digitization in energy as companies adjust to increase in online activities. For instance, remote working and learning become prevalent in a matter of weeks as companies adapt to lockdowns. So there are several problems that make it difficult to Indonesia companies to implement the digital. The first is in Indonesia, most common has low internet connectivity and limited awareness of digital ecosystem, and only a few local reference cases to study, and also the shortage of digital talent. Fourth is encourage performance while ensuring oversight for the power sector. By 2019, electricity had reached 99% of Indonesian household, industry, and business, a laudable improvement from about 67% in 2010, with growth in demand leveling off in recent years. Indonesia's opportunity to prioritize the reliability, efficiency, and sustainability of the power sector. Supply security could be improved for instance through investment in flexibility capacity such as batteries, grid upgrades, automation for real-time load management, and spinning reserve. Digital technologies and smart grid systems could also improve network efficiency by providing predictive maintenance, drone-based inspection of infrastructure, and optimized power plant operation, and many other scenarios. Next is to make power sector financially viable. The revenue scheme of the state-owned power company (PLN) could move from a cost-plus system to performance-based system that rewards cost efficiency over a transparent and predictable plan, and remunerates PLN fairly for investment. To ensure affordability, Indonesia could offer a subsidy targeting low-income households or strategic industry, allowing regional government to supplement these subsidies if they wish. And the last is unleash renewable energy. This data shows an Indonesia potential for renewable energy. Based on the chart, Indonesia hydroelectric plants have installed capacity of about 5 gigawatts, but most other renewable energy sources barely exist in country. If fully developed, renewable energy in Indonesia could have a total capacity of more 1,400 gigawatts, or more than 6 times current needs. This is the more than enough to meet Indonesia's future demand, but the pace of energy transition will need to factor in this cost trend. Indonesia region basically that currently get power from diesel generation such as Eastern Iceland are particularly well suited with the renewable energy. Diesel is most expensive power sources, and cost trends are making renewable energy increasingly attractive. Current trends could lead the cost of reduction of more than 50% of batteries and above two-thirds of for solar panels because battery and solar panels are critical components of solar power system. This will bring the cost of solar power well below the of the diesel and even natural gas generation. So that's all for this presentation. Thank you.